Hello. If you saw Corona's Composer video, you probably saw that they are using an iPhone, an old iPhone as example. So that's the reason you see a very small composition here. So let me zoom in Photoshop. What I pretty much did was to capture the original files, the original assets from Corona Composer GUI folder, the assets folder, and I reposition or rebuild all the scene here in Photoshop. Because again, this is the way it usually happens. The designer design everything in Photoshop, then cut everything, so those images becomes assets, and then in Composer, as a developer, you have to re-import everything like you saw in Corona's demo and reposition and set everything again in Composer. In Photoshop, it's not necessary. I mean, in Kwik, it's not necessary because we're going to use the same project. Again, it's a very small one. If you see the image size of this project is 48 by 320. Again, basically the old iPhone dimensions, which you cannot even have anymore in Kwik. But let's use it as in our case. So in order to do that, I had to manually create a new device centered, I'm calling old iPhone. You don't have it if you are using Kwik, but basically it pretty much just draws the dimension of an old iPhone. I'm gonna create this new project here. I'm gonna call it Composer GUI, just for, again, that's my little homage to my friends at Corona Labs. And I'm gonna use this PSD, the city PSD, as my starting file. So if you're new to Kwik, it's simple as that. You can create a new project, select a device, and use the content that you have already. This file here, this PSD files, has lots of elements. Again, part of the composition, the original composition in Corona's official tutorial. So besides each layer, I have everything here in layers, okay? And again, we are gonna set everything later on. I also created a few paths. If you're not familiar with Photoshop paths, basically you can enable the path window here, and you can come create a new one and say, and give it a name, test. And you can come here to the pen tool, and you can draw something. Let's say you can do things like that. I'm gonna draw a path for this building here, okay? And I'm gonna say here, this is the path for this building. I'm not gonna use it, but if you saw here, I know it's, I'm gonna zoom it just to make you aware how it works. There's a drawing here, a pad draw here. We are not gonna need this. I'm gonna delete this, but I have created a few ones. One specifically for the trash can. Let me zoom it as much as possible, so you see here the path for this is the path for the trash can, and I have another one for the roof here. It's a triangle, and I have one for this mouse here, and I have another one for the road. And the reason I created just the middle is, again, following the same example in Corona's official training. And then I create another one for this mouse here, and that's it. So I didn't create a specific ones for the trash can, for the cans. But if I decide how to do that, basically I can come here again, create a new path. I'm gonna call it red can, and I'm gonna use this tool here. Usually always start from top left to right. So let's say it's gonna be something like this here, this path, and this is gonna be our path for our red can. Okay, so again, it's not associated. I'm just drawing accordingly, so this way when it's time we can come here and do whatever you want. Okay, so let's start the magic here. I have spent lots of minutes already just make things clear for people not familiar with Kwik, so that's the reason it's going to take a little longer than Corona's official tutorial, but if you cut all this thing that I'm talking about now, you're going to see that it's going to be much faster to create this in Kwik. So the first thing that Corona did in their example was to set everything and to position everything. We don't need to do that. Neither we need to create manually path points for shapes for each body, because we have set it already. The design has set it already in our file here. But what we need to do is start to make things right here. So let's start with one of those beans. You can come here in the bean and say, okay, this is a bean. Let me configure physics body for it, and come here and set bodies properties. And like Corona's demos, you have to do it for each bean. We don't need to do that. We could come here and say, you know what? We have 8 beans. Let's select the 8 beans. Just click here the set body properties, and with just one click we can do that. So they set the density of each beans as 10, so we are doing that, and automatically we are going to use a rectangular shape. Kwik will do it for us. Let's save it. And that's it. We have 10 beans already created. Also, because the bean is the same, we can do pretty much another quick thing here. Select the 8 beans again. Let's come into layer properties and say, you know what? I don't want 8 different image files for the beans. I just use one, and all the beans are going to use the bean 1 as the clone. So again, with that, all we need is just one bean. So we did this for the bean. Let's do it also for let's check the trash can, which let's use the road, which was the second thing that they decided to use. So let's come back to physics, set body properties. The road is a static, and they use specific shape there. So I'm going to select here polygon, and we have the road or the path. So we are associate a predefined path with a body, and then we go to the trash can. Select the trash can, the same. Let's set a body to the trash can. It's a dynamic body, the trash can. I think it was, I'm gonna set 5 here, I don't remember. And we are gonna use a polygon. The polygon is the trash one, okay. And then we are gonna do the cheese, just to make things easy. And I didn't create any path for the cheese, so I'm gonna use a rectangular, and I'm gonna set again a 5 for the cheese. In fact, I use 13, like to use the 13. And then I'm gonna select the roof. Where are the roof? Here, I'm just gonna click the roof here. Dynamic, the roof has 20, and there's a polygon associated to that, the roof. Okay, and then let's select the red can. The red can here, let's set a body. The red can, let's put 4, and let's associate to the red can. The other can, the blue one, we don't have any specific body shape. I'm gonna set it to 5, and I'm gonna set this as a rectangular, not a big deal. And then I'm gonna select a mouse 2, which is this one here, and set a body as well to it. And the mouse is a 20, it's a polygon, and there's the mouse 2. Save, and then I'm gonna select the other mouse and set is as a 20 as well, and there's this polygon here, it's the mouse, the first one. So we pretty much set everything from this side here. Let's go to this other area here. We have this base. The base we are gonna set as a rectangular shape, and it's gonna be a static one. Okay, and we don't need this base to appear. Remember, we can put it behind the saucer, which we are gonna do. But more than that, we need to come here and say hide this for me. So hide this layer. So hide the layer base. We don't need to show it. And then we're gonna select the plasma. The plasma is gonna be as well as a body. It's going to be a circle, Okay, and the plasma has 80 the density. So all we need to do is that. And then we are going to select something that Corona Composer cannot do that yet, which is to create buttons and interactives inside. You saw in the demo you had to go to an editor, enter your Lua code, and you don't need to do that. So let's select this the flying saucer here, which is going to become a button. So we come here to the interactions, select as a button. We don't need to set a name, but we are going to use the physics interaction here, and let's apply force. And let's apply force to plasma, which is our ball here, and we're gonna use 20,000, the same as they did in their demo. Create, and I think we have almost pretty much done. So let's enable for the first time export image, and let's publish. And Kwik is not only create all the assets for you. Again, if you were using a larger image, a real image for the iPad, for example, or the Retina display, Kwik would create all the big image and a smaller image for you. And then it starts the simulator, and we are seeing the plasma. I'm gonna remove it. And then when you click here, here we go. We have everything without any code. And now all we need to do now is just to move the plasma behind the flying saucer, which is here. Okay, now we don't need to export the image anymore. Just disable this and publish it again. Okay, so let's save the file. It's going to be much faster now. And boom. Now I click the flying saucer. Here we go. You see, no code at all, no need to reposition anything. It's just a matter of creating your game entirely in Kwik directly from Photoshop. And the beauty is, again, if you need to extend the code, doing things that Kwik cannot do outside the box, you can do it with the several add external code available inside the tool. Hope you like it. Bye-bye.